Hey everybody, this is Jim at SP500chart.com. It's Tuesday afternoon, a little bit after 4 o'clock here on the East Coast on March 4th, 2014. Let's take a look at the chart after I read this to you. www.sp500chart.com and this video are for educational purposes only. Nothing stated at the site or in this video is intended to be used as investment advice. I can draw lines on charts, but you have to draw your own conclusions from your own research and make investment decisions that are suitable for your personal financial situation. And I am not a licensed financial professional. I'm just a guy who draws lines on charts. So let's take a look. Okay, we're starting out here on a 5-minute chart. And you'll remember yesterday I mentioned that it looked like even though we had broken down through this rising support line yesterday, that the action for almost all of yesterday's action looked to be setting up a reversal. Now, yeah, I know, news, okay, I understand that. And news comes and goes, and it's part of what moves things around in the chart. And we've talked about this before. It's not that news doesn't matter, but what it is that news typically does not create enough influence to make large wholesale changes in what's already baked into the chart. In other words, if there's support at 1800 and we're up here at 1873, it's going to take some, and we have support levels in the 1850 area. Some bad news, a little bit of bad news, could take us down to 1850. If we had a huge piece of bad news, then we might go down another support level. So news does move stock prices, clearly does move indexes, but we usually get moved around to areas of support or very close to it. And yesterday I mentioned that I redrew a support line down here that was parallel to this top line, because this top line has very good history to it. 1, 2, 3, and today 4 touches. The bottom line only has 1 touch back here, and then what we saw as yesterday's low. But what made me think that yesterday was going to look to be priming the pump for an upward move was the fact that we got over this little descending channel here on the 5-minute chart, or we could look at it on a 3-minute chart. It'd be a little bit easier to see. So we had this little channel that was better defined on the bottom than on the top, but we still had enough to make it worthwhile. And then we had a little breakout over this line yesterday and a pullback to back test that line. And most importantly, we had a very small little inverted head and shoulders pattern that actually has 2 shoulders. What's the world coming to? Today, just a huge move up. Oh, I'll say huge, 1.5%. Most of that essentially a large gap. And if you look, where did we beat our heads up against this line all day long? Just about our existing resistance line. And here's that line right there. So now this line has even a little bit more history to it. It is not rising at nearly the pitch as this channel we had over here. And I mentioned on a couple of occasions that sometimes you think you got something pretty well nailed, and then you find out that that what you're looking at isn't so much the main channel, but that what you're looking at is just a channel within a channel. So, in other words, and we need more information before we can know this is going to happen. But if we were to get over this line right here, this what is the line that's currently been giving us resistance, then it could be that at some point in the days ahead we find out that we're looking more at this here, a wider channel than this or this. Now, we're not there yet. I think I will keep this bottom line here, though, because that seems to be a reasonably significant low. And I'll add that today we got our close over 1860. As a matter of fact, we're at 1873. That is a full, depending on exactly where you draw this neckline for our inverted head and shoulders pattern that's truncated, depending on where you draw that, we are technically significantly above that line by roughly 1.33%, something like that. So if we draw this line at 1853 and here we are at 1873, that's 23 points. Yeah, that's about 1.3 something percent. The question will be, what is going to happen, because we are seeing some volatility in here. So I would like to see if we come down maybe this week and we check this line out again, see if we bounce on it, see if this line has some validity now. And then if we were to move on up and kind of surprise everybody with a move above this line, let's see if that might give us some more information to take this channel and this channel and put both of those into a larger context. With us being where we are right now, I think we've got to, it's going to be real interesting, guys, but we've got now a target that I think we need to keep our eyes on of about 1958. And what's going to be interesting is look at all of this implied resistance that we have from numerous trend lines, most of which with a fairly decent amount of history. So it will certainly be interesting to see where we head in the next 2 to 3 weeks if this pattern can fulfill its, do we want to call it destiny? Maybe. If this pattern can fulfill its destiny and get the S&P up into the mid 1900s. Wow, what a prospect that would be. So guys, right now, I think we have to look at this and say it wouldn't be surprising at all to see a pullback. You know, we gapped up, we come up to resistance, we stay at that resistance level pretty much all day long. Looks like maybe a little hint to try to get over it, but not by much. So I think it would not surprise me if we were to sell back down a bit tomorrow. And if we do, let's see if maybe we get picked up on this old line right here that has 1, 2, 3 solid touches, and then we got our little inverted head and shoulders underneath it. So now that we're up above this line, let's see if we ease back a bit and give up some of today's gains in the next couple of days. Let's see if we get a bounce here. And then, of course, we have our new potential candidate for a larger channel down here. So, guys, I think that's about it for today. Really, what a nice little what's the word I'm looking for? What a nice little hint down here that this market was ready to reverse back up. So there's your video for March 4th, 2014. Appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch. Take care.